Let's do it. I'm so excited to be here with y'all.
Virtual reality.
All right, Nischelle Turner, Danny and I are so excited to chat with you. We're so blessed and we feel so lucky that you fit us into your busy New York City schedule.
Okay, first of all, let's not even lie. I think I asked you all before, like, can I come back?
And we very enthusiastically said yes because you've got the hot takes when it comes to all these Bravo celebrities and such.
I literally messaged you guys and said, can you please have me back? Can you please?
It's an honor to be on the schedule between you going to London and hanging out with Gil King. Like,
it's been, and throw Drew in there. Throw Drew Barrymore in there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. But I love that because you are so busy because you're celebrating like your 4th year as a co-host, 10 years at ET.
Yes.
I'm impressed you even have time to watch all the stuff. I know because you have to cover a lot of stuff for work, but you can fit in every Bravo show on the docket too.
Oh, I make time for my Bravo shows. Don't play with me. I am a Bravo girl. I am a girly. Yes, don't play with me. But it's true. First of all, when you just said that, I knew that it was 10 years at ET, but
did it go by fast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I moved back to LA. I was here in New York when I got the offer. I was living here in New York when I got the offer to come to ET. And I thought, like, I literally had moved to New York from LA, just sold everything. Sold my car, sold my plate. Like, I was starting anew. I'm like, I'm gonna live in New York. And like 6 months later, they're like, hey, you wanna move back to LA? I'm like,
I'm gonna live in LA.
Right, I'm going back to LA. And I had nothing. I had to start all over again. And I'm like, I'm such a dork. I got rid of my place 6 months ago. I should have kept it. Like, I didn't know because I thought I was like starting this whole new life.
But it's almost because you did all that, that's how the job came.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Because it's like, bring the umbrella so it won't rain.
Absolutely.
You got rid of your umbrella and it rained on you.
Exactly. I was at CNN at the time, and thankfully Jeff Zucker was like, I could never keep you from a job like Entertainment Tonight. You have to go chase that. You have to do that. But let's find a way that we don't want to lose you either, so let's find a way that we can do both. And thankfully everybody was like, okay, let's all play in the sandbox. So I still got to be a contributor at CNN and then went to be full-time at ET. And now 10 years later, I'm all full-time ET and the host of the show for year 4, so I'm excited.
That's insane. Hosting Entertainment Tonight, that's just kind of like the top of the top. Was that always on your vision board? No. Okay.
Not even close. You know what? I thought I was going to be Christiane Amanpour. I thought I was going to be a foreign correspondent. Can you imagine?
I was just picturing you in like all around the world trying to watch Peacock on your phone to see
Thank you. Like, excuse me, President Zelensky, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Ubah and Brynn. I'll be with you in a second. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, that's what I thought. I thought that's what my path was. I thought that's what my life was. I'm still a news junkie, like, at my core, and a political junkie at my core. But what I did was I honestly said, I'm going to keep myself open to whatever happens. Like, and I want to be like the 5-tool player in this business where I want to be able to do everything because I'm afraid of like being broke again, growing up with nothing, whatever. You always got to feel like I want to be the last person that shuts off the lights. Like, if they need me, I'm going to learn how to mop the floor. I'm going to learn how to do everything. So I always kept myself open to whatever came my way, whether it was sports, whether it was news, whether it was whatever. And so it led me here. And so, I just kind of fell into entertainment. I never thought I could, but I always tell people I'm a journalist and you still have to know who, what, when, where, why, how, and how to put it on TV and still be a truth seeker, whether you're talking to Kim Kardashian or Bashar al-Assad, it doesn't matter. And so here I am.
Here you are.
Yeah.
And this weekend you're going to be in London for the premiere of Gladiator 2, which is so exciting.
It's a very hot cast. I know the movie is like a very, very like highly regarded one, but that was kind of my first impression when I saw it.
Okay, we're all Pedro lovers here,
Yes.
right? We're all Pedro Pascal lovers.
Yes.
You're going to love him in this movie. He's so cute. And Connie Nielsen was saying, I went to a screening the other night, and so a lot of the cast was there, and Connie Nielsen was saying, everything that we all feel about Pedro, he is in spades. Like, there's something about him that just makes you fall for him. And he's so great in this movie. Paul Mescal is like, I mean, we loved him in Normal People, right? Complete opposite, but so good. And he said, he wanted to play this muscle role, and that's exactly what he does.
I wanted him to play that too.
Baby, and it's good. Tis good. Tis good.
I'm obsessed.
But he's got heart in it. But I'm telling you, Denzel Washington steals every single scene of this movie. We know he is the man, the icon.
Yes.
Something happened to him in the filming of this movie because it's like unlike I've ever seen Denzel. Yeah, and you know, he plays, I don't want to give it away, but he's not a good guy, right?
Oh, okay.
Not a good guy.
Okay.
But and you know, people are like, oh, is this Training Day Denzel? I'm like, it's not. Because there's like some androgyny there, and there's like a difference, and he's playful, but he's menacing. Like, it's so good. He's so good.
Okay.
He's so good.
Muscly men and an androgynous
Yeah.
Denzel.
I'm manifestation works.
Two literal like cuckoo bird, Fred Heckinger and Joseph Quinn as these twins. Bananas.
I am so excited now to see it. I'm also excited because we were talking that London is like your favorite place. And I feel like because I love London so much too, you probably took the same issues with the OC cast trip there. They did the worst activities.
Right, I'll just tell you about London. We got the Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower?
Just making sure. Big bad.
I was like, because you had to do the same flight at like California to there.
Nischelle, you should have helped them with the itinerary.
Why were they on a boat that you go on in Boston?
First of all, why were you on a boat in that dirty river? I was like, Heather, get me off this thing. I'm not getting in this dirty water when it's cold.
And all you have to cover you is like a Party City cape from Shannon?
There are so many incredible things to do in London, and they were on a double-decker bus and a boat. A double-decker bus and a boat.
It's miserable.
But at least they had the Burberry scarves.
They
which I thought that was a nice touch. Even if Shannon might not be able to afford them,
I'm
according
the
to some of her
Duchess
cast
of
members.
Corona. I'm like, Shannon.
It is Burberry.
See?
Of course, she knows her boxes. Why is Shannon dishing out scarves like they're candy when she's in a $75,000 lawsuit and says she doesn't have the money to pay for it?
Okay, so we see the smile on your face when you're talking about Shannon. I'm feeling like you're Team Shannon and not Team Alexis and John.
Okay.
Oh.
Can two things be true at the same time?
Yes.
I think we've had this conversation before.
Let us know.
I don't think anybody can be Team Alexis and John. The way that she has come off this, like, she did herself no favor.
I know this is uncomfortable for both of us when you're the ex and I'm the new.
And I know she's saying, like, I talked about other things, they just didn't show them. And she's probably correct. But sis, honestly, like, she could have actually won this by coming in and being endearing and saying to Shannon, like, listen, this sucks all the way around. I don't want to make this hard for you. I just want to, like, be acrimonious. What can we do? How can I make this better for you? And kind of fell on the sword. That would have endeared her to so many people. But instead, she was like, my man, my man, my man.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, no, ma'am, no, ma'am.
At this point, I'm baffled. None of it's the root of the problem. The root of the problem is you're mad that I have the boyfriend, and you're not going to win the battle with him.
But I will say this. Shannon Beador is the most put upon woman I've ever seen in my entire life. Did you see when she was even trying to take her shoes off and it was like, I'm like, girl.
She's like, I Love Lucy.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
I honestly, like, understand, even though, okay, I'm just gonna, Tamara Barney is or Judge or whatever, she's the worst. But the worst.
I feel like you're speaking for a lot of the audience right now.
And I know she's gonna see this thing. She's the worst. But I actually do understand being exhausted with Shannon and the friendship, because she exhausts me watching her.
And we only got her 45 minutes.
It's fantastic TV, but it's exhausting.
Can I have a Belvedere soda?
I'm floored that Shannon feels so comfortable that she's just ordering drinks.
Just was a lot today.
And also, it's almost like a losing because she just takes you on a merry-go-round of misery.
10 years strong. Yeah. It's been like, I think every year she has said the line, this is the worst time of my life.
I know.
And I'm like, oh, this girl.
It's funny because we all have those friends that's like, I think, like, life can't keep happening to you like this. I think you're happening to life.
Right.
Almost.
And it's because, so I'm almost like, I do almost think like, what is happening here with you that, like, this stuff keeps, that it's just.
She seems to be attracting it.
It's a lot.
But amidst all the chaos, she's finding time to dig through her 2-year-old text messages and find some receipts.
You remember at the Balboa Bay Club
I told Alexis you started the ball rolling with my lawsuit, and she said she didn't.
Tamara knows I wasn't involved. I don't know why you think I was.
2018. We have engaged an attorney and will be suing you and Tamara. This is called a f***ing smoking gun.
What do you think of the
She
receipts?
updated her iOS. Her game is changing.
Listen.
Honestly, very revelatory. These
Yes.
receipts.
Well, the first one, just putting in the number and then it pops up, I was like, ooh, blue. And it was a good receipt. Katie Janela, that's a receipt. That is a receipt, Katie Janela. Like what Shannon pulled up is an actual receipt. The receipt also, showing the background check is an actual receipt. And thank God she did, because we got Jen Pedrante's bitch flower bloom, and she let that girl have it in a way that I think all of us were like, yeah.
I've never
Finally.
seen so much support for a Real Housewife. Like on Twitter, it's just like insane all the love she is getting
Honestly.
for really finding her voice.
Yes, and that she
coming
got
for Tamara.
to Tamara without glam on in a corner, and Jen's like, no, and another thing, and another thing.
And she couldn't say nothing. But by the way, I went to the Quiet Woman over the weekend.
How was it?
Heaven.
Went to the Quiet Woman and had dinner. Like I was doing the Newport Film Festival, and my producer Andy and I said, well, we'll go down the night before because we don't want to drive up early. And he was like, let's go to the Quiet Woman for dinner. I'm like, oh.
Say less.
It's a magical place, isn't it?
It is a magical place. It's very small.
It's smaller than you expect.
Very small. Yes, not quiet. Very small.
Loud.
But yes, and so yeah, it was like the whole experience, and we were like laughing. There was like afterwards they like play. It turns into a club.
Oh.
And we were leaving. They had a line out, like it's like a velvet rope to get in the Quiet Woman. It was a lot. Yeah. But we were staying at the Balboa Bay Club.
Oh my God. Okay, you really had an OC moment.
Balboa Bay Club, and guess who was there? Katie Janela, Jen Pedranti, and Gretchen Rossi.
Did you say hello?
I did not, but I saw that they were there, and so I messaged Jen Pedranti, and she's like, "You're here." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, so yes, but they were all there.
Wait.
So I'm like, this is a very OC moment.
That's also a fun trio to run into at a night out.
Right, a very OC moment was happening.
I feel like a Gretchen Rossi sighting in real life. It's like kind of seeing a unicorn, because you don't really see her not on Instagram without her nostrils very often. So like, how does she look in real life? She doesn't need the face tune, does she?
No, she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand like why you make yourself look like a cartoon character, because you're gorgeous.
She's a stunning girl.
You don't need to do that.
She wants to get into voice acting.
Yeah.
She's like, guys, look, I'm ready. Disney Channel, put me in, coach.
It's like, that filter now where it's you and then the Pixar.
That's like how it is with Little Miss Rossi.
It's the Pixar filter. Oh my God. I'm going to get in y'all are going to get me in so much trouble. I'm going to have all of OC after me. But it's like, first of all, this season of OC is
everything.
Incredible.
So good.
It's so good.
Incredibly good.
And this is such a fun time for Housewives fans, because we have 4 on at the same time.
Yeah.
Are we liking all the other franchises at the moment?
We are. And can I just put a pin on the OC thing?
Yes.
I have been a Heather Dubrow stan. Like, I love me some bougie ass Heather Dubrow. There's nothing better than a bougie housewife who, like,
really has the money.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love it. I kind of turned on her this week.
With the Neiman Marcus, or with?
Well, I didn't love that because what I didn't think she was playing into what they all say about her. You're being disingenuous. You're not showing who you're.
Heather, I have a question. Yeah. Was my dress at the tea party a problem for you?
No.
Did you call Tamara and talk about the price of my dress and what I wore?
I was at Neiman Marcus and I saw your dress.
And said what?
Oh my God, did she buy a $2,000 dress?
Why?
Because you just told us that you were only getting $6,000 a month, and I was worried about you. It's bullshit.
Just say, girl, I was like, how can you afford that dress? Like, come on, sis. How can you? Don't be like, I was worried about you.
She was not worried about her. If you were worried, you would have called her.
Or you would have followed her.
Or would have given her $2K, right?
It's fine to have a messy moment. We all do. Who hasn't called their girlfriend and said, "Did you see what that girl had on?
Yeah.
I saw it in the store. You know how much that costs? She knows she don't need to buy." Yeah. Like, who hasn't done that?
Do you think that Heather just had a turn of leaf with that, or do you think it's because she's hanging out with Tamara a lot more than usual that she's kind of getting into the messy moment?
Well, I say run for the hills, and Jen was right on. Like, she is your friend when you sitting in her face. Remember that. And I'm like, how do you forget that she tried to annihilate you last season? Like, annihilate you. But I do think that Heather probably does know who Tamra is, and I don't necessarily think there's a real friendship there. I think they both kind of know where they are. Yeah. But I turned on her a little bit last week, and I was like, come on, Heather, I need you to be, I look to you to be the voice of reason and very smart and very like in tune, and so I didn't love that.
And very champagne classy, and she's not being champagne classy.
No, you're being beer basic.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Oh, she's being Miller High Life. Yeah. If you
wait, the champagne a bit. Don't do that. Mary Cosby will come for you. Don't do that.
I was obsessed when she was like, it's regal. Like the way she was, I was so funny.
He thought it was a special beer. He didn't know that was.
I didn't know that was the tagline.
I think I saw that on your podcast. I was laughing so hard.
I really didn't know that.
This man. But listen, honestly, Bravo is having an incredible run right now. Incredible run for their shows right now.
And I think a lot of, with Potomac, I know a lot of fans were kind of like worried going into it because last season fell off a little bit.
It was a little bit?
Alone.
I know, it was rough. We were in Austin, Texas way too long. We were like looking at
chicken shit bingo.
Construction next door.
These newbies are breathing
I'm
such
obsessed. I love Stacey. How are you feeling about Stacey?
She is like every part of delusional that we love about our housewives.
Delusional and gorgeous.
Every part of it. I'm a TV girl, so I get it. She is very put together. But when she said Ashley Darby was gorgeous from the head to the ankle, I loved it.
Let me be very clear. I knew when you gave me those 4 Uber receipts that you were being shady as
These, obviously, I know they're going to come in handy. $200 worth of some Uber cards.
I should have given them back to you so you could get consultation to get that human being of a acorn off your foot, okay?
Coming from my bunions? You coming from my bunions?
Yes.
Yes, see you? I got 2 of them.
And here comes Ashley's bunions. Where did they come from? Ashley is a beautiful woman, from top to ankle.
So good.
I said,
that entire Ashley doing the splits on the table to show the bunion. It really was such gold.
Yeah, so Potomac is giving it for me this year. And I usually I struggled a lot last year, but I struggled with Giselle for a long time. But I think not having Robin there is giving us the Giselle we all needed, because it was always the Giselle and Karen pairing that we need. It was always that frenemy-ness that we needed to see, not like the Green-Eyed Bandits. We need Giselle and Karen with that. That is what is the star. That's the star maker for that franchise.
I know. I'm kind of curious to see if, because like Giselle and Karen, I need them on my television screen for the rest of my life. I'm curious about the Giselle and Wendy duo bonding. I'm also wondering, like, how are Robin and Candace sitting at home watching this right now? Because they're watching.
Oh, yes.
And I feel like Candace cannot be too happy about Wendy and Giselle getting chummy.
No, because listen, they were opposite ends of the spectrum. But in real life, listen, they're in the same sorority. They're sorors, mine, same sorority that I'm in as well. They do have lots of things in common. I have not been the biggest Dr. Wendy fan either of that franchise. Like, I say this, and people laugh at me when I say it. Potomac has been my favorite for a while until last season, but I didn't like any of the women on it. You know what I'm saying? I loved watching it, but I didn't like any of the women. And so it was weird to me that I loved watching it so much, but I was like, they're all unlikable.
In their own
Except for
special
Karen, because I will listen. Don't come for me. I'm a little dumb.
You're spraying your
She's my birthday twin. I will love her forever.
Talk about the best delusional person ever on television. Like, I love her so much.
How are we feeling about the RHONY reboot, ladies? Do we love that group collectively?
Okay, so last season I thought was a little rough, but I was committed to giving, when you have a total reboot like that, you have to be committed to giving them some time.
And they're also chic in their own way too, which is they're very fun to watch
this year,
aesthetically.
I think these girls are looking incredible.
Yes,
Miss
it's a very
Jessel
pretty show to look at.
Miss she has given us a Kyle Richards glow up. Like, it's good.
Yes.
Very, very good. And I think they all look great. I think this season is so much better. I'm obsessed with Raquel. I need to know more. I need to see more. I want to dig deep in what's happening in her neck of the woods. I'm obsessed with her. I haven't really gotten the big sense of Rebecca Minkoff yet. So I'm wondering if we're going to, how when the season goes along, what we're going to get it from her.
I know, because she always just, like, these past few episodes, she's just been saying things that I'm just like, wait, what just came out of her mouth?
She's like, my diva cup catapulted, and now I've got my husband drinking my breast milk at the club in Paris.
One time, Gavin and I, we went to a club in Paris, and I felt like that feeling. And I was like, babe, you're gonna have to sort me out. We're gonna go into the bathroom right now, and you need to relieve me.
I didn't know what a diva cup. I had to look it up. I said, oh,
Google image.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's been very educational.
Right.
Her presence.
I did not know. I'm like, I'm a woman. I guess maybe I should have known it, but I didn't know what a diva cup was. Yes, that it was a lot. But so I'm interested to kind of see like where we're gonna go with her. I am. I think it's very interesting to see the arc with Brynn this season because, you know, like so many people last year, oh, she's mother, she's this, she's that. And I think that might have sat with her a little bit.
Why date their dad when you can just be mother?
And I think she might be drinking a little bit of the Kool-Aid.
Which we see happen a lot with Housewives, where it's even, everyone says a lot with like Leah from RHONY when like she had her first season. Everyone's like, oh, she's so fun. And now she's like, oh, this is my show.
Right.
And it didn't go well for her.
Right. So I don't want that for Brynn because I do think she has the makings of like a star, right?
Totally.
She's definitely got the makings of a star.
She's stunning, she's charismatic.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I think she's doing the kind of thing a little much for me, and she did lose me this week. I was not happy.
It's that bad right now?
I want to leave.
Really?
I'm not doing this. I don't know what's up with them.
Because I feel there were
not happy.
a lot. She had a lot of bold words this season. The first, before we get into her and Ubah, what were your thoughts on her? And I think she realized she kind of got hot mic'd, giving Rebecca like, psst, psst, when we're talking, yell at me.
Let me show you how to read. Like,
what did you think of that demolished fourth wall in that moment?
well, I thought this is evidence of the fact that she's drinking the Kool-Aid and she's like, I'm gonna show you how to be what people love, you know?
Yes.
And I was like, ooh, I didn't love it. Didn't love it, and I'm not loving her as a whole this season. And last night really,
tell us more about that, because Danny and I, we're not really equipped for that conversation, but
right.
we would love to hear your take.
So in last night's episode, her and Ubah were still continuing their beef, and Ubah brings up a moment that happened off camera where Brynn came to her, she says, and said to her, like, I need you to use your words. I need you to, you know, basically be better. And I don't want you to come off as the angry black woman. I want Oliver to want to marry you.
Last night, I pulled Ubah into the room and I said, please work it out. You guys love each other.
And then Brynn got up of bed and she came to me and she like touched my face. Like, please, please use your words. Use your words when you're speaking. I was like, Ubah, I don't want you to come off as angry. That was my priority with Ubah. Not that she's yelling at me.
You know, there were a couple things that I was like, oh, she shouldn't have said that.
I told her, I was like, I want you to marry Oliver. I want Oliver to want to marry you. I don't want you coming off like this as an angry black woman, you know?
That being told that, then saying, good night, love you.
And Oliver is white, which adds a different texture to it.
And the other layer is, we know that Brynn is part black, but she, for all intents and purposes, it is so layered, but she passes as white in the world. And she has told us these things, but I've never really seen her embrace culture and embrace this part of her and her culture. So it comes off super tone deaf, very, as Ubah says, she's condescending, very condescending and incredibly out of pocket for her to say to Ubah, like, what I took from it is, and maybe I interpreted it wrong, but like, if you act too black, Oliver's gonna leave you.
I think that's the only real way to interpret that.
Excuse me? Like that, I literally wanted to jump through the television last night because I was like, this is so bad on so many levels and so wrong on so many levels. And I know a lot of the women, it may not have sat with them listening because like you guys said, maybe they don't understand the backstory of that. But to come to her and basically say, because you are passionate and because, you know, you get fiery, you're the angry black woman, is a trope that needs to be left in the dust so many moons ago. And for her to bring that up was wild.
And to your point, I kind of, because it was a conversation that we only got via confessional, so I would be really curious if that was brought up to the entire table. Because even Erin overhearing it was like, I don't think this is Brynn. I don't think you're landing any plane here.
Right, child, if Erin Lee, she tells you, you need to hold it. Like, I mean, she's like literally like the whitest woman in America. She can hear that, like, you gotta stop.
And I thought it was really kind of interesting too that Brynn was bringing that up to Ubah while they are going toe to toe. It wasn't Brynn being like, Ubah, you're kind of like acting out in general, like just maybe like temperature check how you're doing, like, because that would also be like pause for concern. But being like, you're mad at me and calling me out on things, so instead of like having a conversation, she went to like the scolding element of it.
Exactly, and to bring that there, and then when just last week you were also kind of mocking her and her accent and her like.
No. Yeah.
And did you see the trailer for next week?
I did not see the trailer. She does it again.
She does, and like even a little bit more.
See, like she lost me. Yeah. She lost me, and I think she needs to have a complete reckoning, because also knowing that you're part black and telling another black woman, like, you don't want to be that black, and maybe your man will leave you if you're too black or whatnot, I think sits in a lot of self-hate. And so that's something that she has got to deal with. And like, I don't know how it came off to other people, but to me, because I didn't look at anything.
Yeah. I looked at Twitter.
I was like, no ma'am, Pam. No ma'am, no ma'am. It was not good. And I hope she like wakes up this morning and kind of sees that.
Well, I'm hoping for some self-reflection too, because I do like Brynn, and
me too.
I hope this isn't the end of the Brynn love fest amongst the Bravo fans.
And I do feel, because of what a lot of times reality stars say, is that the show serves as a mirror to them. So she might even be like, she might not have realized in that moment how she's saying it, but then if she's kind of like, oh God.
But also, like, you know, we've had other conversations in the Bravo sphere about colorism and about things. So you have to also understand, like, she has to also understand the privilege that she walks through this world with, and saying things like that to someone who isn't afforded that same privilege. That's a toughie, sis. That's a really tough thing. But I want her to redeem herself, and I want her to see, and maybe she'll watch this, and maybe at the reunion she will say, you know, I hear it, and I learned. Because also, if you weren't brought up in the culture, if you don't know, like, you don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe like ignorance it's not like stupidity or like, you know, it's maybe just ignorance. And once you know better, you can do better. So maybe she'll see this and be like, ooh, yeah, okay, I got it.
I hope she sees this, because I feel like this would be very helpful to hear Nichelle's perspective.
I don't want to be like, you suck, Brynn, you suck. Because I felt that way a little bit. But I understand, like, and I want to have empathy for a woman, because we all too saw her like get very emotional and cry about not being able to tap into that part of her. So I realized, like, maybe she just doesn't understand. Either way is bad, but maybe she just doesn't understand.
And the hard thing is, what we see from teasers and trailers and their interactions is her and Ubah, I think, are just getting worse. Before there is any potential to get better. So I don't really know.
Who is the pigeon? That's what I want to know. Who is the pigeon in here?
I think if you ask Ubah, it's definitely Brynn. Yes. Now, we don't have too much time with you left, but before we wrap up,
are we almost done?
We are, which is really sad for us. But really quickly.
Okay, wait, what haven't we talked about? Salt Lake City?
We haven't talked about Salt Lake, but we really want to talk about New Jersey and Vanderpump Rules, because those are two shows currently in flux. Yeah. What are your hopes for each series, and who do you hope comes back for each series?
When I talk about New Jersey. Y'all, don't come after me. I don't want my mentions to be in shambles.
Oh gosh, I'm excited and scared to see what the take is.
Okay, so I do think Jersey needs it needs an overhaul. It definitely does. I do believe that the Teresa, Melissa, all that is played out. Played out. But I'm over Jennifer Aiden. I'm over it. I feel like she just plays for the camera. I'm over it. I'm completely over her. I'm over it. Oh, this is gonna hurt my soul because I like her so much. I need a different Margaret.
Okay.
So maybe still Margaret's there, but she's operating differently.
If she can't be a different Margaret, then I'm over her too.
That's a good, but that's
what
a
parts
productive
of
note.
Margaret
Because
are
I
you
like
ready-
Marge. I like the quirk of Marge. I like Joe. I like Marge Senior. I like the stuff that kind of like Marlene. Give me Marlene all day.
Oh,
like
yes.
I like, but I do feel like it's.
You want some sweetness with the sour.
Yes, and like I believe you do have to have someone who moves story on a franchise. I do believe that, but I'm not down with what she's giving. It seems very slick, and I want I need a light, fun, a little messy Marge, but I just need a shift. I need a shift from her, and. You know, I actually, I like Danielle. I think she is
big Danielle fans.
You know, if loving her is wrong, I don't want to be right because everything about her is wrong. But you are dirty.
By the way, you look like
right.
It's just
so funny.
That's so good. So, can they build a franchise around her?
I have not heard this take yet, but I love that. And Danielle, I hope you're watching because
I think they could build a franchise around her. She has all the messy parts of her family. She has star quality. She is rough, tough, and rumble around the edges. I think they could. And I would think about that. I think you do keep Dolores. I think you just have to. Yeah. But I would do that. And I probably would get rid of the Gorgas and the Judices. I probably, because I don't think, I like Melissa better myself, but I don't think that you can.
It's almost like they're too intertwined.
Exactly. Like I think you just got to get rid of them both.
Yeah.
I think you got to get rid of them both and go on, because I also could deal with Teresa, but the nastiness, the rumors. So that is a tough one for me. Yeah. And with Vanderpump,
what's happening?
Just stop.
Time
good night and good luck.
Because I don't want to see any of them in this current iteration. What do we love about Vanderpump? We loved when Tom and Ariana had this apartment where they couldn't run the microwave and the air conditioner at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we love the struggle in the back alley with Kristen and her
chain smoking,
right? Yeah. Like chain smoking, cuckoo bird self, like telling people to suck it. Like, that's what we like about Vanderpump. We like the struggle.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about them in these current forms at all. They're not interesting to me at all. Find me a new batch of struggling.
Which
actually, in LA, I feel that's easy to find, right?
There are rumors that they've been casting for potentially just that.
That's what I would want. Like this other, like The Valley was surprisingly great.
I was shocked at it too.
Like surprisingly great. Kristen Doty with that carpal tunnel thing on her, like, baby, can you she's incredible.
She was born to be on reality.
Incredibly flawed. Yes, I it's amazing. But I don't want any of those people on Vanderpump anymore. I just want a whole new batch of Sheena Shea, old time Sheena Shea when she that's what we loved. We don't all this stuff now. I don't care about these people. And sorry. But I don't care about these.
It's okay. Well, we care about you, and we love that you spent so much time in our studio.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
But you know what? As Brittany on Salt Lake City would say, we love you.
All right, thanks, Nischelle.
And by the way, Bronwyn on Salt Lake City is the new star of Bravo.
I'm obsessed with her.
The new star of Bravo. Don't get it twisted. She's incredible.